you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find? Would you kindly get this?
Fraud detection warning. Fraud detection warning. Fraud detection warning. Fraud detection warning.
Another day, people. Another sad, delusional, bitter Nintendo fan. Once again, we have people claiming that Nintendo magically went back in time and saved gaming. Europe, Japan, America, console, PC, arcade, you name it. Without Nintendo, we would have no gaming today. And as you can see, I've already debunked that claim, but this moron continues to go on spreading his misinformation. So, Project Dark asks, wish would have at least attempted to counter Black Bond's vid on you. As do I, because, it would be so much more enjoyable and entertaining, once again, stomping this loser into the ground who feels no other need to be on YouTube other than to spread his lies, misinformation, propaganda, and bias across this platform. So Zen Gamer replies, there's nothing to counter. I 100% agree. You cannot counter the facts. You cannot counter history unless you have that Nintendo Land Miiverse time travel machine you speak of. The one thing he made his video on is the one thing I deliberately left out. Well, the one thing you deliberately left out was the entire basis of Nintendo apparently saving the industry, so leaving out all of that pretty much rendered your video irrelevant. So he goes on to say why. I needed him to act. Keyword, needed. I needed him to act to make a video as I knew he would. So what was the entire point of it? Simple, to show that despite the fact he's not subscribed, he and many others like him scour the internet for news about a company that according to them is irrelevant. So you heard him right, people. He deliberately lied, deliberately spread false information, deliberately spread misinformation, bias and propaganda, not having a point whatsoever, self-destructing and destroyed his own point. Why? Because he needed me to act. Because this clown needs attention. Because this clown needs views. Because his channel is pretty much irrelevant. And to show that despite the fact he's not subscribed, he and many others scour the internet for news? My man, nobody needs to scour the internet for news when you're talking about something that happened in 1983, almost 30 years ago. It's already written in history. There is no new news. This has already happened 25, 30 years ago. So he goes on, in addition to the points I brought up here, they provide the latest instance of the very thing this video was about. These dudes were so thirsty for pro-Nintendo views that they fell for it hook, line, and sinker. So you spent 16 minutes making a fraudulent, lying video just to prove that people actually speak on facts that are negative about Nintendo because, well, we're not biased hypocrites like you who like to ignore the truth. So you want to talk about the media talking about Nintendo. I'm a System Wars vet from GameSpot. Maybe you've heard of this thread before. It's called the Sony Disappointment Timeline. This timeline pretty much happened well before the launch of the PlayStation 3, starting February 27th, 2006. Sony misses its spring launch date. Sony holds its E3 press conference announcing the $600 price point. Sony's Phil Harrison denies copying the Wiimote. Sony's president admits the company's hardware is in a current state of decline. On and on and on from February of 2006 all the way up until December of 2006. Virtual Fighter 5 to duke it out on Xbox 360. Industry Watches weighs in on the record low tie-in ratios for the PlayStation 3. PS3, I cannot imagine there being a PlayStation 4. Saving Sony, one console at a time. PS3 downscales 720p games instead of upscaling them to 1080i. They had an entire timeline from before the PlayStation 3 launched up until after it launched, even into the following year. And meanwhile, the Wii was breaking record sales, getting all this media hype, getting all this casual news hype. Fox, CNN, Oprah, you name it. It became a cultural phenomenon, not thanks to Nintendo's advertising, but thanks to the general media spreading this news, all of the above. So Nintendo, you need to quit crying, quit spreading misinformation, and quit lying. You did not deliberately leave these points out to make a further point. No, 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 no. You actually went into this video thinking you actually had a point when in fact you were completely wrong, lying, and spreading misinformation. This is why nobody cares about you losers' channels other than you rabid Nintendo drone fanboys. This is why guys like me will continue to destroy guys like you until you come correctly. I swear it's like you people started gaming last year. You have no concept of gaming, no history of gaming, and most importantly, no knowledge of gaming.
Dang, big man. Dang, our fault, big man. My bad.